Ladies and gentlemen, on Vision TV, a regular occurrence 5 days a week is people sitting down like they did in the 1970s and 80s to watch the Waltons. Now, obviously we know the great cast, Ralph Waite, Ellen Corby, Will Geer, the various younger actors who made the show together. But this person stirred the drink on the show, and she was recognized several times by the Emmys and the Golden Globes for her efforts on the Waltons. A very interesting actress. My dad once called her the Meryl Streep of television. I tend to agree, because when Michael Learned played Olivia Walton to her best of her ability on the small screen, everybody knew that her naturalistic style of acting fit the role so well that basically there was no other person could play the part. Now, Michael Learned, born April 9th, 1939, again best known for a role as the mother of the Waltons, Olivia Walton, in the Walton series, which had a pilot that didn't include her but ran from 72 to 81. She has won the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama Series 4 times, which is tied for the record of most wins with Tyne Daly. 3 of her wins were for the Waltons, 73, 74, and 76. Was for the underrated medical drama Nurse, which came out in the early 80s, which was a hit in Canada, but that was the only country where it really they got it. Now, Learned was born in Washington, the eldest daughter of Elizabeth Duane Betty Nee Hooper and Bruce Leonard, Learned, a diplomat. Her maternal grandfather was an attaché to the United States Embassy in Rome. She has 5 younger sisters, Gretty, Susan, Sabra, Dorrit, and Philippa. She lived on a Connecticut farm for the first 10 years of her life. She said in published reports that her parents never explained why she received a masculine first name. One saying of her father, "All he told me was that if I had been a boy, I would have been named Caleb, but I was a girl, so was called Michael." When she was 11, she moved to Austria, where her father worked for the U.S. State Department. At this time, she attended the Arts Educational School, Tring, now Tring Park School for the Performing Arts, in Tring, Hertfordshire, England. During this time, she discovered the theater and decided to make acting her life's work. Her first substantial role in either film or television was, again, Olivia Walton on The Waltons. A very complex character because she was a dedicated mother and Christian. There was always an aspect of Olivia that she was always seeking out some of the dreams she had before she became a multi-faceted mother and matriarch of the family. If you look at certain episodes, she took on a small business for herself. She always wanted to fly in the skies, and she finally had that opportunity with a passing mail delivery air operator. Her and Ralph Waite had a great chemistry on screen, and John Walton Sr. and Olivia was considered probably one of the most important Christian couples of the modern era. Now, a lot of people criticized the show because it expanded on the overall aspect of spirituality. It wasn't just, Southern Baptist or Southern heavy fundamentalist Christian. What was ironic with her, the show as well, for the first 5 seasons of the program, she was billed as Michael Learned because she was relatively unknown at the time, and producers wanted to avoid confusion among viewers about her gender. Now, by the 6th season, as the show continued its success after the departure of co-star John Boy, played by Richard Thomas, producers feared of confusion about her sex had been alleviated, and the mist was removed from Learned's billing. What was strange as well, ladies and gentlemen, Michael Learned was unknown before the Waltons, and within a year, there was merchandise, there was the Emmy Awards, all kind of different things. She was on the Match Game. She was still quite young. She was only, I think, 10 years older than Richard Thomas at the time when she played his mother. Now, again, nominated for 6 Emmys as lead actress in a drama series, winning 3 times. After the end of the 6th season on The Waltons, she agreed to appear for one more season on the condition that she would not have to work the full 9 months. After the 7th season, she left the show. Now, her character's abrupt disappearance was explained by Olivia developing TB and entering a sanatorium in Arizona. She made occasional guest appearances after that until the show's cancellations, and later appeared in 4 of the 6 Waltons reunion movies made during the 80s and 90s. For her portrayal of Olivia, She was also nominated for 4 Golden Globes, and during her run as Olivia Walton, Lerner and the Waltons' co-star Will Geer also appeared together in the 1974 made-for-TV movie Hurricane. Now, all the major cast pretty well was nominated to the show, including several guest actors, and it was a who's who of guest actors in the first few seasons: Cleavon Little, Ned Beatty, Ron Howard, Erin Moran, a lot of different characters actor. Later on, Jonathan Frakes from Star Trek fame, the famous returning character, the son of a very famous unseen character in the show. Don't want to give it away. Now, eventually graduating from the Waltons, she starred, and it was a great performance, as Nurse Mary Benjamin in a hospital drama Nurse, which ran on CBS for 6 episodes in spring of 81 and then for the 81-82 seasons. Though the series again was well received critically, a big hit in Canada, it was not a rating success and lasted only parts of 2 seasons. Nevertheless, she was nominated for 2 Emmys for Outstanding Lead Actress for the show and won yet another Emmy for the role in 82. She later had starring roles in the unsuccessful 88 drama Hot House and the 89 sitcom Living Dolls, and reprised again Walton's role for a number of TV movies and reunions in the 1990s. Now, in 2005, Lerner played Judge Helen Turner on the ABC soap operas All My Children and One Life to Live as part of the Baby Switch storyline on both shows. In the second season of The Secret World of Alex Mack, she guest starred as a ghost who regretted the decisions of her strange granddaughter, revealed at the end to be the show's main villain, Daniel Etron, played by Luana Gideon. Now, she also guest starred in Scrubs as Mrs. Wilk in 5 episodes from the show's 5th season. She also played Shirley Smith on ABC's General Hospital. In the fall of 2011, she played Catherine Chancellor on the CBS daytime soap opera Young and the Restless, filling in for Jeannie Cooper, who was on extended medical leave from the series. Now, in the theater, her and her husband, Peter Dunne, appeared in various roles with American Conservative Theater in San Francisco. She appeared in many stage productions on Broadway, off-Broadway, and elsewhere, including the 2006-07 national touring production of On Golden Pond. Now, in the fall of 2008, she starred in Innovation Theatre Works productions of Driving Miss Daisy, playing the title role of Daisy Worthen opposite Willis Burks II as Hoke and Dick Walker as Daisy's son, Booley. She reprised the role opposite Lancey Nichols as Hoke at Judson Theatre Company in March 2013. Now, she's also very active in the various Walton's reunion events with her colleagues and her family, she called them. And she's basically well known to be honest about the show and about her struggles in her personal life. Now, she has been married for 4 times. Again, the first one was Peter, a Canadian-American, who she married in 1956 when she was 17. The marriage was eventually dissolved in 1972. She had 3 sons in the marriage, Caleb, Christopher, and Lucas Dunne. Her second marriage to Glenn Chadwick lasted from 1974 to 1977 and ended in divorce. In 1979, she married actor-screenwriter William Parker. That marriage ended in divorce as well. Since 1988, she has been married to lawyer John Doherty, and the couple resides in California. Now, in a 2002 article she wrote for Daily Word, a publication of the Unity Church, strong Christian in real life, of course, she states that at the time she was cast in the Waltons, she had hit rock bottom. Then, at age 32, she realized she was an alcoholic. Taking herself to former husband's Peter Dunne, she decided to get sober, and that her time there was the beginning of a spiritual journey. Lerner further stated in the article that she's been completely sober, since 1977. Now, on the big screen, she's been in Touched by Love, Power, of course, a noted role in Dragon, the Bruce Lee story, Life During Wartime, For the Love of May, Lethal Eviction, Loggerheads, The Killer, American Girl, Christmas Stand Strong, Unplugged, The Parcel, Afterlife, and Second Acts, and of course on the small screen, The Other Man, the television film, of course, Hurricane, It Couldn't Happen Nicer Guy, Little Mo about the Mo Connolly story, Nurse, A Christmas Without Snow, Mother's Day in Walton's Mountain, The Parade, A Deadly Business, Picnic, Mercy or Murder, Roots, The Gift, very underrated movie, you can find it, Gunsmoke, The Last Apache, Aftermath, The Test of Love, Murder in New Hampshire, The Pamela Wojak Smart Story, Keeping Secrets, Maddie's Waltz, and then Walton's Thanksgiving Reunion, Walton Wedding, Walton Easter, A Father for Brittany, and of course Life Interrupted. On the TV side, she got her big start as Nina Eden on Wojak, 68, then the Waltons between 72 and 79, 168 episodes, Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama, 73, 74, 76, nominated Golden Globe Best Actress, 73 to 76 inclusive, and the nominated for Primetime Emmy Award, Outstanding Lead Actress, 75, 78, and 79. 73, she was on Gunsmoke for 2 episodes, Match Game 73, of course, Insight 73, 74, Police Story 74, Nurse, where she got numerous nominations for Primetime Lead Actress, 25 episodes there. St. Elsewhere, if you can find it, a very important 2-part episode, where she played Sister Millicent Dominica. Hot House, Dr. Mary Teller. Then she appeared in 1989 on Murder, She Wrote, Who's the Boss, and Living Dolls. Wise Guy, 1990. 94, Reading Rainbow. 95, The Secret World of Alex Mack. 98, Profiler in Promised Land. 2000, Pensacola Wings of Gold, and So Graham Norton. Law and Order SVU in 03. All My Children in One Life to Live in 05. Scrubs in 06. Cold Case in 09. GH in 2010, 21 episodes. Mr. Sunshine, The Young and the Restless in 11. And of course, the return performance, getting to be a very popular series on Netflix. I wouldn't watch it because I hated covering the guy. On Dahmer, Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story, where she plays Catherine Dahmer. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Michael Learned, if you're in Canada, Vision TV, it's on 6 o'clock Atlantic, Monday to Friday, in sequence. But the subtlety of her acting on the Waltons, she was romantic, she would get mad, she was obsessive. She was always overprotective of John Boy, and the other kids not so much. It was weird. She also showed that a mother can have her favorites but still love everybody equally. Because anytime something happened to John Boy, she would freak out. Now, Richard Thomas once said he learned more from acting working with Olivia and Ralph Waite, Michael and Ralph Waite, than he did in the performance previously, because he picked some rough roles, especially Night Gallery, the episode Sins of the Father. But all I can say, ladies and gentlemen, is that the Waltons, if you've never seen it before, and there's a few people who haven't, imagine a Christian soap opera, but it's not like the holy roller stuff. The individual characters are holy rollers like Grandma, but you have characters like John and the grandfather Will Gear, where basically they are spiritual, but they like a drink every once in a while, a game of pool, to fool around. They're not really tied to I must behave exactly, because they basically say we're all sinners. And the character Olivia portrayed, it's hard to put them different. What Michael Lerner portrayed changed over the years, like we all change. You would watch the early episodes from the mid-'70s and watch when Corbett especially arrived, where Olivia basically showed her humor dealing with the busybody like Corbett. Because, by the way, the show itself, I grew up in northern New Brunswick. The Catholic women and the Protestant women in my region, from Charlotte to Jacket River, they reflected so much of Olivia Walton because they loved the Lord and they loved volunteering for the Lord, but it was just part of what was in their blood. But they weren't judgmental, they were real. And if anything Michael Learned taught us with Olivia Walton, I consider that a top 20 female character of TV of all time. No arguments there. It is top 20. She might be top 10. Everything she learned as an actress is on the screen. And not saying she was method, but my God, ladies and gentlemen, there's a certain episodes where all the kids are in the kitchen screaming, and she eventually screams to try to stop them making screaming. There's a reality in that really can't be touched besides anybody that's been through that. So, she's had some personal ups and downs, but she's dedicated to the Waltons fans. We all know that. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what we're doing here, we're a podcast, our Screenshots podcast, which sometimes touch movies or productions. Let us know when to like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to share. And I'd like to wish everybody in the States and Canada a happy October. The weather's been good. Probably the nicest October we've had in New Brunswick in years. Just remember, 6 o'clock at night, if you're watching the Waltons, you're not alone. That's probably the biggest ratings for a non-CBC, CTV, Global City channel in Canada. Everybody watches the Waltons. At nursing homes, young children will watch the Waltons. You'd be surprised. And it's real. Like I said, I like to joke about when the time John Boy had to sell his clothes because the cow died and he couldn't afford the suit and all that. Well, that's what it was like back then. My family had pigs and horses and gardens and all stuff before the internet came along. We were people of the land. If the cow died, that was probably no meat for months because, or the pig or whatever. I mean, that's the way it went. It's, put it this way. The old days will never die as long as the Walton syndication. And that'll be showing that for, until, the universe implodes on itself. Anyway, thanks for listening. Bye.